Our first speaker will be Stacy Mwaura, who will be talking about transportation. Stacy is a student at Highline College who majors in pre-nursing, and this is her second year at Highline College. Stacy is also a global student ambassador at the Center of Leadership and Service. Her dream and ambitions are to be a great leader at Highline and to complete her major, to be a pediatric nurse in the future, and travel the world. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you, Yaya. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stacy Mwaura, and I'm a pre-nursing major student, and this is my second year here at Highline, and I'm also a global student ambassador at the Center of Leadership and Services. And today I'm here in front of you to speak on matters concerning the public transportation that most of us use to get to many places that we go to every day. And as a student, I use it maybe to come to school, go back home, do some shopping and everything. So you could imagine my whole week is up and down. So I want to first share my first story when it came to public transportation. Well, as a new student, I did not know where to get a bus because the first 2 weeks, my mom will always drop me to school. So it was kind of hard to know, where do I get a bus? How do I do it? Where is the schedule and stuff like that? So it's different. So, and unfortunately, I don't believe that it was spoken about during orientation because maybe it's not a big issue, and maybe like that thing like, oh, maybe it's something that the student know. Well, I did not know, and maybe many others didn't know as students. So the first thing that I did was I went to building 29 and I saw a bus. So the first thing was I can just ask the bus driver, like, how do I get home? Maybe he knows. Well, unfortunately, he was on his lunch break and he couldn't talk to me. So unfortunately, I had to go now to building 6 where every information you can get is there. So a lovely lady was able to help me and tell me, oh, you can use, if you have this type of phone, you can use the Apple Map and you can just put the address of your home and you'll know where to go. And the timing will show and everything. So I was still a little bit scared of using it because it's my first time. So what I did is I went to one of my friends who have already used it, and she was like, oh no, you have to get a card first, and then maybe like you have to put money in it. And I didn't have a card, so I didn't even know how to get a card. So she's the one who showed me. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, so the first issue maybe like I would like to speak about is the transportation fee. Well, that for me, it has been kind of hard for me because like you have to pay twice, $2.75 for a student or for someone who is older than 18 years old. And that is $5.05 a day and roughly $160 a month. And to a student, that is way too much, considering that we have other important bills to pay, such as groceries, housing, school fees, and other school supplies. So majority of Highland students do come from the surrounding counties, such as we are in King County and Pierce County and Snohomish. But you will say, Snohomish, oh, that is too far. We don't have students coming from there. But you never know. Maybe there are 1 or 2 students who are not known to come from them, but they do come from there. And the struggle that they do go through is a lot. So now imagine the number of buses a student have to take and pay in each just to get to Highline. And you have to schedule and be like, oh, I have to set 2 hours of public transportation so I can get to school. So that is a little bit too much. So I believe that if the transportation fee would be removed, that would reduce stress for us as students, and we'll maybe focus on maybe other stuff, and we'll not have to deal with transportation fee, and it will actually motivate us to use the public transportation. So another issue that I have personally come across is the lack of safety in public transportation. Well, to me, it's just a matter of taking chances just to get to school and home at the end of the day. There were some like news of shooting in the transit center, maybe even in the bus stop, and it's not safe. For me as a student and as a girl, I'm afraid to use the public transportation. So I take chances. And well, if you if people can, if they can be maybe like employment and you employ and you, I'm sorry, you employ and you assign at least one security guard in each of the buses, not each and every bus stop, but buses. I would feel more safe. More students will feel more safe to use those public transportation and get to school. So another issue that I would like to speak about is the bus schedule. Well, I'll also tell you another story that I personally came across, and it wasn't good for me. So I went on the same app that I was told, oh, use this app so you can know which is the next bus where you should take it. And I live in Federal Way, and I saw a bus, I think it was 165. If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure. 165, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be here in like 10 minutes. So I quickly ran to the bus station, and the time by 7:05 came, there was no bus. 7:10, there was no bus. I'm like, did I miss the bus or did I not see it come? I was like, oh shit, I just missed the bus. So I didn't attend class that morning. So I had to wait for another 1 hour to get the next bus so I can come to school for the rest of my classes. So if maybe like the bus schedule can be updated for most of the students, like not even us, but also other people who are using it, it will be more efficient to us. And maybe like in the morning, if there are more buses added and maybe like the time intervals, maybe like not 1 hour, but maybe like 30 minutes, that would also help us maybe get to school and, you know, finish our daily tasks at the end of the day. And another thing, when it comes to bus schedule, it doesn't only goes to the, you know, the public, but it also comes to Highline College. I mean, like, we do have classes 7 a.m. scheduled, 7 a.m. in the morning, but you'll not find a bus 6 a.m. Maybe like the earliest you'll find will be like 6:30. And in 30 minutes, depending on your distance where you live, you cannot get to school in 30 minutes. That is for sure. And for me, I used to take 2 buses a day, but at a bad day, I would take 3 or 4 to get home. So I would make sure that I don't take morning classes, like at 7 or 8. I would just take from 9 and make sure that maybe I don't take the evening classes. So most of the time, I will not take those classes and take the classes that, you know, that will fit my schedule, and I'll be able to make it to home safe and early. So yeah, so also the school has to work on the, you know, the time schedule for the classes and everything, because not every student will take classes that fit their schedule, you know. We have evening classes and you're like worried about your safety. How will you get home? The last bus is at 8 and you have a class at 6 until 7:30 and you're not gonna get home by the time. So these are the issues that our students face, most of the students face. Maybe you can go to the parking lot and be like, the parking lot is full, all students have cars. Not all students have cars. I did not have a car for 3 quarters, and I went through all these issues, and I had to save up money and work hard to get a car. So if students want to use the public transportation, they think of other things, like, will I continue using public transportation, or will I have to get an extra job to save up for a car so I don't have to use transportation and stuff like that? So these are the issues that we do face, and hopefully maybe by even next year or this year, these issues can be addressed, and we'll all be happy as students too. So thank you.